The mystical ninja, one with the shadows, able to slip in silently and kill their target before anyone even notices them. Maybe you find a shuriken in the throat of an unlucky guard at best. This may come as a shock, but the vision you have of a ninja in your head is probably the farthest from what the actual ninja were. Much like the samurai or the cowboy, popular culture has altered the ninja so much that it barely resembles what they actually were during the height of their time. So let's take a few minutes and just discuss the truths and myths of these mystical assassins. So let's get this out of the way now. They were not called ninja. The original term for what we now refer to as ninja was shinobi. The title of ninja did not become popular until after World War II, and after that time became a very popular name to be used by foreigners. The reality of the ninja is probably closer to what we would think of as special forces or spies. They were mercenaries, saboteurs, intelligence gatherers, and assassins. In reality, they were not that much different from hired swords known as samurai. They just had a different skill set. Shinobi became very popular and handy during the 15th and 16th centuries in Japan, the time of the Warring States. This period saw many local lords rise up against the shogun rule. Economic crisis, famine, and political unrest led to civil war amongst the lords as they made a grab for power. Province fought against province, armies rose up and fell, so the need for a new small band of covert specialists was strong. This is where the shinobi made its name. They were viewed as a lower class of warrior to the samurai, however, who were known to face their enemies head-on. The shinobi tactics weren't designed for this, however, and their skill set was considered incredibly important. Another common error in the history of the shinobi is their attire. Let's say you have been hired to discover the number of soldiers that the local lord has. You arrive in the village dressed in all black wearing a mask. Suspicious? I think a little. No records show that the shinobi had a set uniform. They were hired to blend in, so odds are good they dress in standard Japanese attire. As far as records show, masks were not part of the shinobi kit either. Much like modern covert operations, the mission probably dictated the dress. Night mission would require more of a black garb, but the mask seems to be simple make-believe. In terms of weaponry, there is very little official documentation of shinobi carrying swords or throwing stars. Once again, if you are disguised as locals, it would be a little suspicious for you to be wandering around with a sword on your back. The sword was considered the symbol of the samurai during this time period after all. Many shinobi tools were actually repurposed farming equipment. Once again, the shinobi were designed for espionage and sabotage. To this end, they were trained in the use of explosives. During the 16th century, they were even known to utilize flintlock rifles and pistols. The myth of the ninja built up over time, becoming very popular after World War II. Many myths speak of the mystical and mysterious nature of the ninja arts, but in reality, a lot is known about what these ancient spies actually did, and the reason for that is that there are historical records. There are also considered two shinobi schools in history, the Iga and the Koga. Today, there is an actual ninja museum within the Iga province. Many documents of the shinobi still exist today, and you can go and see some of the history of these shadow warriors. While there is actual history to be found, the Iga also lean into the myth of the ninja that the Western world has become so fascinated by.